video, I'm going to share the important suggestions of IBO 01 from Unit 11 to Unit 20. In the previous video, I shared up to Unit 10. So kindly watch the video till the end to have a complete understanding and the list of suggestions and the important questions that you should revise for these upcoming exams of December 2023. Okay, from Unit 11, we have regional economic groupings. Now, I think a lot of questions came in the June exams. So, better to revise this topic from this chapter, like different types or forms of REG, regional economic groupings. So, these are the different five types of groupings that we generally see in the REG. The first one is preferential trade areas, where the areas are preferred by the member countries, and free trade areas where the member countries can trade freely without any tariffs. Then custom union is there where custom duties are reduced to some extent, and then some common markets are there where member countries can freely sell or buy goods, and some monetary union are there to finance the member countries. So these are the different types of REG. From Unit 13. Unit 13 is International Financial Institutions, and here you should study about this IMF. We know about this International Monetary Fund, and basically this fund was established in 1945 in America, Washington, and mainly the main object was to finance the developing countries and enhance the international trade. So all these are the main objectives of IMF. That means the first one is to promote international cooperation among the member countries, to promote balanced growth of international trade, to promote exchange stability and depreciation of currency, to promote multilateral system of payments and transfers, and to provide financial assistance to the member countries whose balance of payment is unfavorable. And you should also revise this question: what are the important functions of IMF? Now these are all important functions. That is, economically it will make a surveillance of the member countries. Then lending, that means providing financial help and some technical assistance to produce goods and services at a cheaper price. The next topic is the World Bank, similar to IMF, and about this also, like I have written here few important points in this, and it is also known as IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and its main object is also to provide finance to developing and underdeveloping countries. Now these are the important roles of World Bank: to introduce economic reforms all over the world, to invest in educating people and developing their skills so that they can be a good workers, to introduce health, nutrition and family planning programs, to protect the environment, to grow and develop private sectors, to reduce unemployment and poverty in the world, and to work with IMF in consultation with UN. Okay. Some technical assistance program which are provided by World Bank, so this also you can go through. Okay. Then we have Regional Development Bank. In short, it is known as RDB, and I have here mentioned three types of RDB banks. That is, the first one is Inter-American Development Bank, which is based in America and the neighboring countries. Then this Asian Development Bank. These are established in the continent Asia, where a lot of member countries are the member of this bank and can take loans from this bank. We have African Development Bank, which provide financial assistance to African countries who are the members. So this topic is also very, very important. Okay. Okay friend, I have skipped some units here which are less important for your exams, and we will do this Unit 16, Settlement of International Trade Disputes. This is one of the very important unit, and you should revise this unit properly for the exams. बहुत important है. And कुछ देखते हैं मेन एरियाज एंड स्कोप ऑफ ट्रेड डिस्प्यूट्स. ये किस तरीके से, like why these disputes happen. So basically, the first one is when the contracting parties do not feel their obligations. तो जो भी कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल आई मीन बाइंग एंड सेलिंग ट्रांजैक्शंस होने वाले हैं, अगर पार्टी ने अगर ठीक से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अगर नहीं किया फुलफिल, सो देयर इज अ डिस्प्यूट व्हेन गुड्स आर नॉट सप्लाइड विद इन द स्टिपुलेटेड टाइम. ये तो अंडरस्टूड है. Then when the supplier finds it difficult to supply goods due to rise in the prices of raw materials. Now ये एक in international marketing, this prices of few raw materials, they are always fluctuating, so that creates a problem. Then when the seller faces unusual circumstances like strikes or lockdowns in their countries, so they are being unable to send the goods. Then when the buyers refuses to pay or make the payment. Now this is a very common problem. And when the goods supplied are not in good conditions or of inferior quality, and when the buyer avoids the possession of goods due to change in demand. So these are few areas or reasons for the disputes. Then we can settle disputes in these three ways: by litigation, that is a legal process, like the party makes a court case, legal action against the other party. Then by arbitration, like we have to appoint an arbitrator and he settles the disputes. And one more, that is conciliation, that is outside the court. They can mutually meet and settle the dispute. So you have to explain these points. All these explanations are there in my study material. So in the video, like, it's very difficult to share all the explanation. So that's why okay. The next topic, alternative dispute resolution, that is ADR, and it refers to any method of resolving disputes without litigation. That means the second and third method, which just now I told you, so that is called ADR. And legal disputes, like when we take legal actions, it's very complicated and time consuming and expensive too. So that creates a problem. So these ADR methods, how can we settle disputes without litigation? So we can make a negotiation with the party. We can do mediation, like we can take the help of mediators, middlemen, and by arbitration. So very common methods are there. So we can settle the disputes through these methods without having visiting the courts. Okay. The next one, you can get a short note on Indian Contract Act 1872. And basically this act is on contract agreement, and a few important points I have written here on this Indian Contract Act, and all the contracts in India or agreements, they are all governed by this act. A lot of sections and articles are there. And the next one is the major issues in the settlement of international trade disputes. So again, we have to explain all these 5 points. Just writing the points will not be enough. You should explain those. And while settling these trade disputes, like there is a problem of applicable substantiative law, there is a problem of jurisdiction, because the areas are covered. क्योंकि कोई भी लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स का एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया होता है, उसी के अंदर उसकी जुरिस्डिक्शन होती है. दैट वी हैव वेन्यू ऑफ आर्बिट्रेशन. तो ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है कि कहाँ पे आर्बिट्रेशन करना चाहिए मीडिएटर को. देन एप्लीकेबल प्रोसीड्योर लॉ and recognition and enforcement of foreign judgments. So because we know that different countries have different types of rules and settlement procedure in the, so that creates a problem. So it is very difficult to match with your domestic country legal laws. Okay. The next one is the role of International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, in settling disputes. Now this is one of the very important organization that tries to settle the disputes among the trading partners. And basically the main object is to settle disputes by negotiation or by arbitration, and promote international trade among the countries of the world. And these are few objectives, or why this ICC is important. So this is like, let's see few important points. It looks into the problems of corporations, companies, organizations, that is understood. Then it always strives for harmonious, unrestricted growth of international trade and commerce. Then third one is assistance to global business community through expert advices. and maintaining cooperation among the businessmen and organizations in distinct countries by bringing them together for on a common platform. So ये कुछ important इसके main objects and goals हैं. And लेट्स मूव ऑन टू नेक्स्ट यूनिट, यूनिट 18, एंड यहाँ से देखते हैं क्या क्वेश्चंस आपको पढ़ने चाहिए फॉर दिस एग्जाम्स. द यूनिट इज़ ऑन इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड इन सर्विसेज. As we know, the service sectors is growing very fast all over the world, and there are, it provides all these things like employment, then share in the GDP. The GDP of the countries are rising, and it is a good source of foreign exchange, earning foreign exchange. So इसके अलावा भी you can write a lot of other points like it enhances the infrastructure, the standard of living of the people. Then it also helps in globalization. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे points हम लोग लिख सकते हैं. लेकिन ये जब मार्केटिंग करते हैं हम लोग सर्विसेज की, एज वी नो कि सर्विसेज आर इंटेंजिबल, वी कैनॉट सी देम, वी कैनॉट फील देम. तो इट becomes a very big challenge to market them, to sell them. So all these points are there which you can explain, like these are inseparable from the service providers. Then there may be heterogeneous services, like different service providers, they offer different types of services, and they are intangible in nature. You cannot see, feel and touch, and you cannot own, you cannot transfer the ownership of the services. It belongs to the service provider. And the services are perishable, like they are only visible as long as the service provider is there with you, and after that it perishes. Then problems of measuring the services, like in the case of goods, we can measure the quality and quantity of the goods, but it's very hard to measure the services because it's intangible. Unit 19 is on international business ethics, and यहाँ पे ethics refers to the the code of conduct. Like these are all not legal these things, but again, like some principles, some ethics that should be followed by the companies. And basically it refers to a set of principles designed to conduct business honestly. Okay, so this point will make the meaning clear. And the ethical principles are based on the organization core values and standards, and they follow this set of principles like honesty, integrity and professionalism. And they may be different, such as like compliance based or value based. And again, like you can define these two, compliance based and value based ethics. So basically these ethics refers to the principles to do business honestly. Now these are few unethical practices which are adopted by multinational corporations. We know about this also, and this question came quite a lot of times in the exams. So basically these are few important points like misleading product information, then unfair advertisement and competition, then mistreating and exploiting the employees, manipulating the accounts to skip taxes, and charging overpriced to customers, and unhealthy and unsafe product. So these are few unethical practices adopted by multinational corporations. As we can see a very good example like Maggie by Nestle. Okay. Unit 20 is on electronic commerce, and here you should know, we know about this electronic commerce, that is e-commerce, buying and selling goods through internets. And these are the different types of e-commerce methods which are prevailing all over the world, like business to business, where one business firm buy or sell goods with other, and business to consumer, here the firm sells goods to the consumer. Then consumer to consumer, sometimes consumer sells goods to consumer, and consumer to business. So these are four types. The first and second type, they are the most common one. The third and fourth rare to find. Some advantages are there, very easy, like sellers can have a global reach, they can sell goods all over the world, and it reduces transaction cost and quick delivery of goods. Then 24/7 a customer can shop, and they allows customers for that quick communication and transactions. And few disadvantages are also there along with advantages, like startup cost is very high for this type of e-commerce setting, and there is a very high risk of failure. And at times e-commerce may be impersonal, that is like when we take the services of actual salesman, it's very different, like we cannot avail that on e-commerce platform. Then security is one of the major reasons here, because there is always a risk of you know yeah, like losing money. And then there are also fulfillment of the problems. So these are all important disadvantages of e-commerce. Okay, one more thing, that is GTPN, that is Global Trade Point Network. ये क्वेश्चन भी बहुत बार एग्जाम्स में आता है. And basically it was a project developed to promote electronic commerce, and it was designed to help small and medium sized enterprises. It was launched by UNCTAD, which is an international organization, and it covers around 140 trade points in 80 countries, and it helps in the exchange of large number of electronic trade opportunities all over the world. And its object is to simplify the trade procedure, like the inquiries, the quotations, the movement of goods, all. So that it helps. And it was launched by UNCTAD at the UN International Conference in 1994, and it has trade points all over the world to provide information about this. So like this, and some objectives also you can learn, like to make these international trade transactions more simple, and to provide traders with trade information network supporting things, all that, and to promote a new commercial partnership between the trading partners, and to increase the awareness of the potential traders all over the world. So friends, these are few important suggestions. Apart from this, you can also revise with your own study materials and with your own potential. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope it would help you in the preparation for the exams.